So, I know we have a ranch woman here. What's Buttermilk? You.
You would ask me.
Yeah.
Isn't butter? I don't know what buttermilk is. Buttermilk must be milk with butter in it.
So we used to milk a cow, and then we would pull the cream off, and we would churn.
Oh, I see. You
and
said
get-
rancher. Yeah, I'm not a cow wife, so I don't know. Go ahead
Oh,
and
okay.
tell us what buttermilk.
And so, Connie?
So once you're making the butter, and that first, after it's churned,
So it is.
and then you pour it off, and, you know, and I
It's
used,
what's left from making the butter.
right,
Right.
and so,
And there's none of that on the planet hardly at this point. There really isn't, unless you have a cow and you're
Oh, yeah.
doing
I
that.
was gonna say.
That is not what you're buying in the store.
No.
That's for sure.
But
So is it made out of the whey?
when you're making the,
Making the butter from scratch?
yeah, making it, and it's the whey
that
from
is what
that.
it's called, that's what it's called, is whey?
It is a whey because it's what's left from pulling
Okay, all
the
right.
fat out of it. But we're not eating any of that in anywhere unless you have a cow and you go through those steps. But what you do have is that they would take that whey and it would have a bacteria in it, and it was acidy, and that's why it was so precious. Is because that acid would stimulate with the soda and baking powder and give you the flakiness and the improved texture and more tender biscuits, more tender crumb in your cakes and your baked goods, and that's why it was precious. And it sat on the counter. It didn't go in a refrigerator when they did get refrigerators, because it wouldn't spoil because of that bacteria. Now note, on your buttermilk that you get now, it will have an expiration date. That's because of the government insists that there is an expiration date on everything in the store. And as long as that bacteria is working, it's like your sourdough. If you've done anything with sourdough, it does not expire unless it gets seriously moldy and stuff. But the bacteria pushes away, keeps away the bad stuff. And so it's growing and it's healthy. So today, that bacteria is put into milk. And so this is what I made. This had whole milk, and I put in, there's two ways to do it. You can buy a starter, and I wanted to know, I'm a curious soul. And so I bought this.
And did you get that online?
I got it online, and actually, after using this starter in one and tasting it, and I wish Connie, some of you might like a cold glass of buttermilk on a hot day. Oh, shoot.
It's good stuff.
I can't do that. But I have tried it with the culture. That was an expensive start. And I have done it with just some buttermilk that I had at my house that I bought at Winco. And I put half a cup in a quart jar. And that is why you can make your own perpetual buttermilk. And today I have been quite the chemistry kitchen the last few days, and I have starts for all of you to start your first quart of buttermilk. And I want you to know that as long as you, and I'll tell you how to do it after we get our cooking done, but as long as there's not serious mold on top, it is good. It's like a sourdough starter because you're working with things that are alive. Yes.
Do you skim off any mold that you find? Or just
I have taken it like half of it out because it will have spores, and started a new batch, and it was beautiful. So Yes,
So with your half a cup of starch, you add that to a quart of regular milk?
of regular
Okay,
milk.
okay.
And I like the creamy, so I'll go whole
Whole
milk,
milk.
but you can do it on skim milk or skim, 2% or whatever you want. But I want fat, thank you. So, and I think that when I'm baking, I'm not conscious of that, I want richness, and so that's why I do. So, today, as we are talking about things that are alive, I read in John, and he spoke of live alive, live awake. He said those phrases, living awake. And as I was thinking about that, you know, I may be moving and my eyes may be open and all of those things, but am I awake? And as the holidays went through, and I was associating how many times I was in a room and I wasn't sure if anyone was awake. But I can be in a room and even associating a little bit, but am I awake or in tune? And I think John had a good point. I think we need to live awake. And so today, as we've got 5 kitchens. We are going, and when I say buttermilk, one of the cultures that really come to my mind, oh, that's a play on word, cultures, that come to mind is that is Southern cooking. So we are going to be doing fried chicken, and if you've never home fried chicken, I want you to be with Susie, and I want to thank her for helping me today. She's going to be in the far one kitchen, and you're going to fry chicken, and we're using boneless, skinless chicken thighs in that one because they were at the best price in Blackfoot. And but Winco has chicken breasts, boneless, skinless chicken breasts for $1.25, $29 today in big packages.
If we all don't go and buy it real quick.
They have a lot. Anyway, and then we have a pasta salad that is like a meal, and we'll be doing that here. And then we have you've heard of Texas sheet cake? We're going to be doing that over there. We have baking powdered biscuits.
Fun.
What else are we doing? Biscuits and chicken
Ranch potatoes.
and ranch potatoes.
Oh, my word.
And so we've got to spread, we're few in numbers, so we need to spread out so everyone has some help. And I've done a lot of it, and in probably in 20 minutes we'll be back here as they finish cooking, because I've done most of the prep for you. So please, everyone get involved in a kitchen, and let's cook some Southern food using buttermilk.
If you haven't fried chicken before in hot oil and